I was perusing the LEGO website when I stumbled upon this uncharacteristic graphic, showing a racially diverse cast of LEGO minifigures and a notable lack of yellow-skinned figs among them. This got me thinking, are yellow-headed minifigures on the way out? Could we soon see a world in which realistic skin tones are all that LEGO offers? But to understand where LEGO might be going, let's look at where LEGO has been. Since the first minifigure in 1978, LEGO has been characterized by the yellow skin tone. It's unrealistic, and that's the point. The idea was that anyone could identify with this yellow character, and furthermore, that LEGOs existed in a colorblind society. This definitely had some intellectual backing to it, although the merits of this approach are still debatable. But LEGO began to find it difficult to stick to that principle. Most people point to the 2003 Lando Calrissian minifigure receiving a movie-accurate skin tone as the first instance of this principle breaking, but I think an earlier example may be the 2001 Severus Snape minifigure, whose pale and glow-in-the-dark head and hands were meant to reflect his pale complexion in the movies. With both Snape and Lando, the LEGO group decided it was better to favor accuracy over the yellow skin principle. This raised a lot of questions. The principle seemed to be applied arbitrarily. And so in 2004, LEGO clarified things. Minifigures from licensed themes such as Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings would receive skin tones accurate to the source material, while non-licensed themes would keep the yellow skin tone. This has been the status quo basically my whole life, and as a young child, I picked up on this distinction pretty fast. The only thing to have changed, it seems, in the last 2 decades, basically, is that LEGO has dramatically expanded the color diversity of its licensed characters. Oh, and the introduction of the Friends sets, which despite being an original LEGO theme, never had the yellow skin tone. But at the time, I did not really consider those to be real minifigures, I had no interest in ever obtaining them, and I overall paid them very little heed. But maybe I should have, because now we get to today. Back to the image at hand, it's highly unusual for LEGO to portray a generic person as having realistic skin color. This particular graphic can be found at various places on their website right now, although it seems to just be a handful of characters. Not finding much on the main site, I ventured to the Play Zone to further investigate. The only thing I found there was an avatar builder that featured a variety of skin tones, of which yellow remains an option, but is one of many options. I also took the time to make this beautiful fellow. I hope you like him. But then I stumbled on an unlicensed, non-Friends LEGO set that violates the yellow skin principle. That happens to be the much maligned table football set. It's been soundly dunked on by the LEGO community and is discounted to reflect its poor market performance, but interestingly, it has realistic heads. A whole lot of realistic heads. In fact, it seems to be a major selling point of the set. Now, the set bombed, but probably for reasons other than the minifigure design. But this is a very interesting sign of what may be to come. I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that in the next 5 years, our yellow-faced friends may be vanishing from the shelves. Perhaps not, perhaps this is all wild speculation, but if it does happen, I'll definitely point out that I called it. There's definitely pros and cons to both sides. The common argument against yellowheads is that they promote a racially homogeneous society. Now, that is a very superficial understanding of the issue, but you can see how a small child might reach that understanding. The argument goes that LEGO ought to try to more accurately portray diversity, as they've made efforts to do in the area of gender equality. However, this might be a hazardous move for LEGO. Portraying a generic minifigure as one specific race precludes it from being interpreted as any other race, inherently limiting its appeal. And there would be awkward questions about what proportion of black, brown, white, or medium-colored skin tones to include in any set, not to mention the risk of a set promoting negative stereotypes towards certain specific races. It'd be a challenge to navigate for LEGO, and some of those challenges might get passed down to mock builders and fans as well. There's a simplicity to the yellow head, a bland normalcy, and I would prefer to keep it that way. But at the same time, they're deeply unrealistic, and I personally favor realistic skin tones for my own mocks. So, do you prefer to use yellowheads or realistic skin colors? Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great day.